Iron is high in people that have never had iron overload. We've had vegetarians for the first time in their lives have elevated cholesterol and even elevated iron levels. And I talked to, again, last week, I talked to Dr. Morley Robbins, the expert on iron and copper. And we know that the spike protein brings iron to a high level, and all that zinc that we took increases iron, which makes iron like unabashed. And then it also, the spike protein also lowers copper levels. That's why I love your copper. And copper is the antagonist to iron in either direction, because some people are having low iron, but it's really stuck in the tissues, and copper makes iron more bioavailable.
So is there Morley, and he's been on my show, so if anyone is wondering who he is, make sure you go back and listen to him. He's a wealth of knowledge. He would say that very few, maybe 1% of the population needs iron supplementation. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, unless you're having literally internal microbleeding where you're losing iron. I believe that to be true. There's an anecdotal experience with a client of mine whose iron was 2, but it was that malabsorption, and I really suggested her against taking in a transfusion, but the doctors are very concerned. Her iron went to 600 and she turned on 3 autoimmune conditions. Mm-hmm. So what we needed to make that iron more bioavailable. Copper is one way, if you can handle it. Bison liver, actually vitamin A and retinol. Dr. Stephen Spencer, who's a naturopath, is also very well versed in this. He's also a friend and colleague of Morley. And it's really become a thing. We had one client that was Hashimoto's and couldn't get her iron up and couldn't get rid of her Hashimoto's. She'd been taking iron forever and couldn't get her iron up. We checked her ceruloplasmin. We started her on aspirin and baking soda with orange juice and retinol and bison liver. And guess what? Iron stabilized and no more Hashimoto's.
Wow.